Welcome to the Certificate of Higher Education in Pre-Medical Studies information session. Before we start, we want to inform you that the session is being recorded and will be shared on the ICE YouTube channel. The recording will be sent to all who register for the event after the session. My name is Vanessa Ciliemi, and I'm Head of Academic Centre Administration at the Institute of Continuing Education at the University of Cambridge, also known as ICE. Today in the panel, we have Dr. Dettina Zalli, Academic Director for the Cert HE in Pre-Medical Studies, Anna Govea, Academic Centre Coordinator, and Oya Christy Miller, Student Representative. Next slide, please. This week, we will be running a variety of online sessions taking place every evening until Thursday, 29th of February, to give you an opportunity to find out more about our STEM portfolio and the Institute of Continuing Education. Course information sessions like this one, covering courses in our STEM portfolio, will be taking place at various times, followed by a series of panel sessions from 7:30 with our academics and student representatives. In addition to our live sessions, we also have a number of video resources on our website, giving you further information on funding options, the application process, and student support. If you missed any of our sessions or are unavailable to attend, then you can watch the recordings, which will be available on our website 24 hours after each event. Links to the events and resources are shared in the chat and will also be sent via email after this session. Next slide, please. Established 150 years ago in 1873, we were the first university-led continuing education provider in the world. Today, we offer a wide range of flexible and accessible courses to adult learners, including short, online and residential weekend courses, international summer programs, and award-bearing undergraduate and postgraduate qualifications, covering a number of subject areas from archaeology to genomic medicine. ICE is a place where professional networks are formed, friendships are made, and the transformative power of learning is recognized. Next slide, please. As I mentioned earlier today, in the panel we have myself, Vanessa Ciliemi, Dr. Dettina Zalli, Academic Director for the Certificate of HE in Pre-Medical Studies, Anna Govea, Academic Centre Coordinator, and Oya Miller, who is one of our current students in the program. Shortly, we will take you through what you can expect from the Certificate of Higher Education, including entry requirements, teaching style, module content, and assessment. You will then hear from Oya, our current student, and we have time reserved at the end of the session for any questions you may have. So make sure you send us your questions via the questions and answer box at the bottom of the screen during the presentation. Next slide, please. So the Certificate of Higher Education in Pre-Medical Studies is a full-time, flexible course that mirrors the intensity of a medical degree while allowing you to fit your studies around everyday life. This course will be delivered through a mixture of online and in-person activities, such as live workshops, online and in person, pre-recorded lectures, recommended readings, and a variety of tasks and assignments, such as essays, presentations, exams, and worksheets designed to consolidate your learning. You will also develop essential practical skills through a practical lab program. The course will be delivered in 2 teaching blocks of 15 weeks of teaching plus exams. Teaching block 1 will go from September to January, and teaching block 2 from February to July. Dates are available on our website, and we will share the link so you can access those yourself. You will attend 2 days of in-person face-to-face teaching every month, which will take place at a university venue in Cambridge. And I will now hand you over to my colleague, Dr. Dettina Zalli, Academic Director for this program. Dettina, over to you.
Thank you so much, Vanessa, for the introduction. My name is Dettina, and I'm going to focus now to talk more about the course itself. So in this part of the presentation, I would like to talk about the structure of the program. This is a program that is designed to be a full-time study course. Should you successfully complete the course, you will receive 120 credits at level 4 of your study, which is equivalent to the first-year undergraduate program. And this is a program that was very carefully designed to mimic the full study mode. And we thought very carefully about the best way to deliver this course, the best way to teach the students. And we have in the program the key skills that students need in order to go to medical school. That is that we have incorporated A-level biology and chemistry, which are essential for medical school application. And we are also aware of the importance of flexibility for mature students. Therefore, we decided to deliver this course in a manner that it will allow most of the teaching to be delivered in a synchronous manner online. That means that a lot of our lectures are available in online for you to access anytime from anywhere. And these online teaching materials will also be supplemented by some live sessions. Approximately there are 2 to 3 live sessions a week, most probably 3. One of these is focused in biology, one of these is focused in chemistry, and one of these in pre-medical studies. This is also followed by a 2 in-person day per month in Cambridge. So every month students need to come to attend face-to-face sessions, usually 2 days a month, 2 consecutive days a month. This may be Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday, and so on. And this face-to-face teaching in Cambridge will focus on some theoretical and group work elements at the same time that will enable us to bring some laboratory skills, which are fundamental part of the program, and they will train you in order to go, excuse me, to medical school. Next slide, please. There are 6 different modules that you are going to learn. We have split them in Biology 1, Chemistry 1, and Pre-Medical 1, and Biology 2, Chemistry 2, and Pre-Medical 2. So we have taken the A-level curriculum, like I've mentioned before, that is relevant to the medical study, and we have inserted it into our curriculum. And this is because we want to ensure that the students have the foundation that they would need in order to gain medical school entry. So we feel that it's very important to prepare for medical program and also to teach you skills that are needed in the program. In Biology 1, as you can see here in some of the modules, we've mainly focused on cellular biology. So we talk about cells, tissues, different organelles. And in Chemistry 1, excuse me, we start by talking about fundamentals of chemistry and biochemistry. So this is starting from AS level chemistry, where you are introduced to different atoms, different equations. And then on Pre-Medical 1, we focus on research, academic, and interpersonal skills. In the second term, we then have Biology 2, which is basically focused mainly on anatomy, organs, and systems, which mimics a little bit the medical school curriculum. We then have intermediate chemistry and biochemistry. This is mostly focused on A-level chemistry, where you will have to know a little bit more complex chemistry. And we also focus on health psychology and sociology. So we treat themes that are very important in medical school, such as communication skills, teamworking, and also we present case studies to students which mimic the medical school case studies for them to use the knowledge that they have gained in the lectures to actually apply to solve real case scenarios. And next slide, please. It's very important to be upfront. Studying this course is quite intense and demands a full-time course. We've had questions from students in the past, can we work full-time and do the course full-time, which is not possible. So we want to be very straightforward and saying that this is an intensive course. It's not a course where you can choose which lecture to attend and which not to attend, because everything will be tested in the exam. So the environment for this course mimics the medical school environment, the first year, excuse me, medical school environment. And excuse me, please. We also have peer support. We encourage students to form groups with each other, and like Oya is going to say, which is our student representative, they form groups with one another when they do revision sessions, and they practice with one another, which we strongly encourage. As I've mentioned before, there will also be in-person teaching in Cambridge, and this will be 2 days per month. And one of these days will focus on laboratory practicals, where you will have different labs focused mainly on cell biology, but also biochemistry. And there will be also a mix of formative and summative assignments. Next slide, please. So this course, as I previously mentioned, is recognized for entry to A100 medicine at University of Cambridge, University of East Anglia, and Anglia Ruskin University. So we are working with all the 3 stakeholders, and each university has its own application process and criteria. For all the universities, students must pass a UCAT test. Cambridge changed this recently. So instead of doing BMAT for Cambridge, you will be required to do UCAT. And as soon as the course starts, we prepare students on how to, we give them information and prepare them how to pass the UCAT. And by providing them with general specific advice, we also support students with the applications to the universities, and students will also have the opportunity to get mock interviews with us. And we've been quite successful this year that a lot of students from pre-medical studies have had interviews with universities, and I would say that they've done very well. The expected mark for certificate in higher education is likely to be 70 to 75%. So when you get an offer from one of these universities that we collaborate with, you need to get a minimum of 70% in order to be accepted to the medical school. So it would be a conditional offer. Again, one thing that we want to stress out is that no guarantee of an offer. We cannot guarantee students that they will get an offer from any of the universities, even if grade is met. But students so far in this year, they have done quite well. Next slide, please. So the applications are submitted via the ICE website, which can be seen here. And the application closure is on Friday, 12th of April, 2024. We will shortlist the candidates, and the candidates which are going to be shortlisted will be interviewed either in person in Cambridge or via Zoom. How do we select students? There is no formal academic entry for applying to pre-medical studies. However, to apply to any medical school, you must have 6 GCSEs at grade B or 6, and this must include subjects like English language, mathematics, and equivalent to 2 sciences. Obviously, preference in the admission process for the pre-medical studies cert will be given to those applicants who have the above qualifications and who express an intention to go to medical school. Students, excuse me, students should not currently be studying level 3 qualifications or be a recent school leaver in order to apply for the pre-medical studies. Next. And lastly, I would like to introduce our amazing student representative, Oya Christy Miller, who's been an outstanding student to the Certificate in Higher Education for Pre-Medical Studies, and she can share her experience, a little bit of how it was to study pre-medical studies and any insights she can share. Thank you so much, Oya.
Thank you, Dettina, for your kind words. So hi, everyone, welcome. And thank you for joining us. So like Dettina said, I'm Oya Christy Miller, and I'm one of the student reps for the current cohort of the pre-medical studies course. So I'll start off by saying that I'm from a non-healthcare background. I've been working as an educational consultant for the past 15 years. And as part of my job, I guide 16 to 18-year-olds as they prepare to apply to university. So I studied political science at university and have a master's in English Lit. So coming onto the course was a drastic change for me, not having studied science basically since my school years. And I've always wanted to be a doctor, but shall we say, less than ideal results in chemistry and maths at school meant that I couldn't apply to medicine at the time. So the pandemic was a big turning point for me. During the pandemic, I felt quite frustrated that I wasn't, sort of on the front lines helping. And I started to volunteer as a vaccinator with St. John Ambulance. And that experience made me realize that my dream of becoming a doctor had never really gone away, and I still really wanted to pursue it. So initially, I tried to register online for online A-level courses in biology, chemistry, and maths with one of the popular online providers, but I won't tell you which one. Because I quickly discovered that there was very little guidance actually, and it felt completely overwhelming, and I felt very alone. And within a few months, I gave up. And I just thought, I'm just too old to do this. I'm too unequipped to do this. And on top of that, I had family and work responsibilities that I had to juggle. So, but I just couldn't put the idea out of my mind. And 2 years later, when I was looking for, access courses or really any other feasible alternative, I came across the pre-medical studies course. So, I applied, was accepted, and I started. First, let me tell you about the many, many good things about this course. So I would say one of the absolute best parts of the course are the monthly in-person days and the weekly synchronous online sessions. And the course creates a real sense of community, which is what you need when you undertake something, as drastic as, or like as challenging as attempting to retrain in medicine as a mature student. And I made great friends on this course. We collaborate, we study together, we exchange ideas and materials. We're in, constant, contact basically throughout the week. And the camaraderie and support I get from my peers is absolutely huge. And this is exactly what I missed while trying to do A-levels on my own. And the age range in our cohort is, I would say, about 21 to 48. It's a very diverse cohort from a wealth of backgrounds. And about more than half the cohort, I would say, comes from a healthcare background. But, as in my case, there are exceptions to this as well. Another wonderful, wonderful aspect of the course, and why I would definitely pick it over doing something like A-levels, are the case studies and guest speakers. The case studies relate the science to topics in medicine. So when you're doing just the basic science, it can otherwise feel a bit removed from your end goal. And case studies really connect the science to medical issues. And guest speakers have included, medics and researchers from all over the UK as well as the US, including, Nobel laureates. And they've been truly, truly inspirational. But I also want to talk about the challenges of the course and what I think you could do to prepare for them if you're thinking of applying. So first of all, I have to be completely honest, juggling the course with work and family requirements is a significant challenge. And you really need to have a good support network in place, especially if you have a, family to take care of. And on top of that, I would also say that you really need to have the drive to want to learn science and be prepared to essentially learn a new language, especially if it's been a long time since you've studied science. You dive straight into cell biology, like Dettina showed you on the slides in the first term, and learn a mix of A-level and university level biology, and essentially cover a year and a half's worth of chemistry, A-level chemistry in about 3 months. So it's absolutely full on. Yeah. And, while the course team and tutor support is really superb, to succeed, you really need to be able to do a lot of independent learning as well. And it would help to refresh your GCSE biology, chemistry, and maths knowledge before you start the course, because it's basically assumed that you have GCSE level knowledge, and the people who are a little bit rusty on this seem to have found the course more challenging this year. But I want to finish by saying that you are not alone in tackling these challenges. The course team is absolutely fantastic. Everyone from our course director, Dettina, to the tutors, to Anna, to the rest of the course team are really there to help you succeed. And each and every one of them have gone out of their way to make sure that we all do well. And I have felt immensely supported on the course. And to be honest, I could not have achieved my results so far without their support. So I would say that's about it. I'm sure there are things I haven't addressed, but if you ask your questions at the end, I'll be very, very happy to answer any questions you might have.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Oya. That was fantastic. Thank you. So let's move on now on to funding and support available. And we have the slide already there. That's great. So tuition fees for this course are £1,000. You can choose to pay upfront or in 2 installments, 50% at enrollment and 50% before term 2 commences. However, depending on your individual circumstances, you may be able to access funding from Student Finance England to cover your tuition fees. Students can access funding to cover the tuition fees for the course and the subsequent medical degree at either the University of East Anglia, Anglia Ruskin University, or the University of Cambridge if they have not previously accessed higher education. If you had previously accessed funding from SFE, then your eligibility for finance will be affected and you're unlikely to secure loans for both the Cert HE and the medical degree. It is important you research this and contact Student Finance England if you have any questions. As I mentioned before, funding is dependent on your individual circumstances. You must research the financial implications of undertaking a study at this level, and your personal circumstances will dictate the most appropriate funding route. ICE also offers a pre-medical bursary of £3,000. We have available 12 of those tuition fees bursaries, reducing the tuition fee from £8,000 to £5,000. The bursary eligibility criteria is available on our website, but basically it's open to those who live in the region, those who hold at least 6 GCSEs at grade B6 or higher, and intend to apply for medical school after completion of this course. For further details about the eligibility and how to apply, please see our website, and we will share the website with you now. If you have any questions at all before, during, or after you submit your application to the Certificate of Higher Education in Pre-Medical Studies, please contact my colleagues in the enrollment team who will be delighted to help you. You can contact them by emailing inquiries@ice.cam.ac.uk, or you can use the QR code on the screen. So I think we're now moving on to the questions and answers. Is that right? Yes, excellent. Thank you. So Anna, over to you.
Thank you, Vanessa. Yeah, we'll open the session to questions and answers now. One question, our first question we've got is, does this course offer a guaranteed entry to medical school?
No, so basically, as I've mentioned before, the course does not guarantee an entry or an interview to the medical school. It will also depend on your experience. It will also depend on your application. So we cannot guarantee that.
Thanks. Thank you, Dettina.
Thanks, Dettina. Next question, do I need to take an English language test to do the course?
I'm happy to answer that. Yes, if English is not your first language, you will need to prove your English language level. Information about that is as well available on our website. But yes, if English is not your first language, you may have to provide an English language test. Thank you.
Thanks, Vanessa. Another question, as a student, who would I reach out to for disability or welfare support?
Again, I'm happy to respond to that. We have a team that supports our students with special requirements, and they're available to support students before the course starts and during the course. We can share the details here on the chat, and if I cannot find them as I'm responding, I'll make sure that I'll circulate those at the end of the session when we send the recording of this session. But yes, we do have a team that specializes in supporting students that may have extra requirements, like sometimes extra time for exams, extensions for assignments, and for those students that may be struggling with personal things in their life and they just need that extra bit of welfare support. So yes, we have a team dedicated to that. Thank you.
Thanks, Vanessa. Another question, can I complete this course fully online?
So you need to, as I've previously mentioned, there will be face-to-face sessions that you have to attend while in Cambridge. These are mandatory sessions that you have to attend. And whereas most of the lectures will be online, available online, and you can access them from anywhere. However, it's very important participation in the synchronous teaching, in the live sessions that we do 3 times a week, and also face-to-face sessions that also include lab practicals, which you must attend because they are part of the assessments.
Thanks, Dettina. One for Dettina, is there any specific experience I should have that would benefit my application onto the course?
Most of the students who are applying to the course do have some healthcare experience, even though they don't come, not everyone comes from the biomedical science background, like the case of Oya. If you have work experience in hospital settings, or if you have experience caring about a person, you know, some sort of responsibility caring, then that would be a positive aspect for the course. Something else that we would strongly suggest is also try to learn a little bit about the biology and chemistry prior to the course, as Oya mentioned, because as soon as the course starts, we delve immediately to the cell biology aspect. And for some students, we found that this has been a little bit more difficult than others, depending on their previous experience. So my suggestion is focusing on science, but also getting some healthcare experience, whether it is in hospital settings or taking care of people with caring responsibilities.
Thanks, Dettina. What have previous students gone on to do after completing the course? I know none of our students have actually finished yet because we're in the first year, but we got some ideas of what our students are going to be going on to do.
Yeah, most of the students will go on to apply to medical school. Many of them have already applied. We are very excited that some of them have already got offers, conditional offers, based on the results that they will have on the pre-medical studies. Some other students have realized that perhaps this is not what they want to do in a long term, so they are going back to healthcare jobs. Some of them are doing biochemistry. So it really depends on the students, but given this is the first year, most of our students have gone to apply to medical school.
Thanks, Dettina. And the last question for now, unless anyone has any more, when will interviews take place?
If that's the interviews for applications, that will be in April. The dates are on our website. It's in a period of 2 weeks. Can you remember, Dettina, when they are going to be? Or Anna, maybe?
If I'm not mistaken, they are going to be towards May. I don't.
April. I think it's the 22nd.
April.
Commencing the 22nd and the 29th.
Let me just have a look and I will be able to confirm that. But if I don't have the information, we'll definitely send that information with the recording. Let me just have a look. April. Yes, from the week of commencement of the 22nd of April and the 29th of April. That's right.
Right. I don't think we have any more questions in the Q&A.
Okay.
Thank you.
So unless anyone wants to add anything, we are coming to the end of our session today. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We hope you found the session informative. We would love to hear your thoughts by our satisfaction survey, which will be emailed to you shortly, and hope to see you at our other events taking place this week. Thank you and goodbye.